Alright, to build the FTEC1 Gen2, here's some of the tools you're going to need. So you're going to need the two Allen key hex wrenches that are included in the kit. So this is a 2.5mm and this is a 2mm one. That's included in the kit. And then you're going to want to print out these tools here from the file set. These are the little pin holding tweezers, and these are to help you set O-rings into the breech block. And these are two wrenches. If you print two of these, you're not going to need an adjustable wrench. And this is the calibration block. You're going to want to print these to get your printer calibrated. If these come out good, your print should work fine. Your blaster assembly should go a lot easier if these are calibrated. Okay, as for tools that you're going to need to provide yourself, adjustable wrench, some Phillips head screwdrivers, Loctite. You can either use Loctite red or blue. I prefer red, either works. Some lubricant, tweezers, a hammer. So there's two ways to set the pins. You can either use a hammer, which I think most people will use, or if you have an arbor press, like this one here, you can use an arbor press. I prefer the arbor press, but if you don't have one, you can use a hammer. And also, you will need either a soldering iron to set the brass inserts, or, you can use one of these brass insert setting heat press things. I will be using this. And I'm not sure if I mentioned this already, but some super glue. So that's what you will need to start assembling. I'll show you how to use the hammer and tweezers. And then I'll also demonstrate how to use the soldering iron, but I'll be using these two instead. I'm going to discuss the calibration blocks here. So these calibration blocks, there's a few tests you can do here. To test it, you can grab a brass insert and then one of these small slotted pins. And so here's all the holes on here. You're going to want to print two as well. But how it should work is this slot right here underneath the this post, the pin should freely just push in there. You can push it in with your fingers. It comes right out. So if it fits like that, that's pretty good. And this hole right here next to it, it should be very difficult to put in. So these are the two different types of holes. These are the holes where the pin sets into, and then these are the holes that the pins will line up and insert into. And so that's one test. Then another one is you're gonna want a brass insert, and this hole here, check that it fits in like that, just loosely, but doesn't go in all the way, because you're going to want to heat set it. So that's pretty good there. And then this one right here, this is a hole on the side, same thing with the brass insert. You can get it to, so you got to push it a little bit, which is fine. There you go. So you can see how it sits in there. That's good. Pull that back out. And then here's a hole that the pin should just fit into as well on the side. Alright, so I'll show you real quickly how to set these pins if you don't have an arbor press. So you're going to use this little tweezer tool to hold the pin, like so. And I'm going to set it into here, just as a test to show you. So basically you're going to align it over the hole and get your hammer. Just smack them in there like that. So that's a pin installed into there. Nice. And then let me show you another one. There you go. If the holes that you're setting the pins into are a little bit loose, like if they're not going to stay, like this is very secure in there, right? It's not coming out. But if they don't fit in that tightly, then what you do is get just some super glue. Put a little dot of super glue. Sorry, this stuff's a little bit. This is an old bottle here, but yeah, just want to put a dab of super glue right into that hole. Then grab your pin, and set it in there. Okay, so that's what the super glue is for. If the holes are a tiny bit loose, if it's not going to hold with just friction. So there's that. And the reason you want two of these calibration blocks is so that, so I'm going to install the same thing here, same as last time. Instead of the hammer, I'm going to use the arbor press this time. This out of the way. Grab the arbor press. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but anyway, same thing as the hammer, just a little bit easier to use. So line up the pin. Oops, not lined up at all. Line up the pin and set it in. Right? Easy. So that's how you install these. As a test, you can see the two of them interface together like that. You want to make sure this peg fits in freely on both sides. If you really want to measure, this hole here for the printed peg to fit into should be about 6.2 millimeters in diameter, and then this printed peg here should be close to 6 millimeters in diameter, 5.98. It's close enough. So there you go. And these pieces should just be able to interlock like that. Shouldn't be super hard to pull them apart. They also shouldn't jiggle around too much. That's pretty good. So there you go. That's how you install pins. If you're gonna set a brass insert, I'm sure you already know, but just put them into the holes like that. If you're going to use a soldering iron, it's really important that you push the soldering iron straight down so that the inserts set in perpendicular, like straight into there. Because if they go in at an angle, it's going to make assembly of the blaster not that easy. Which is why you can also get a rig like this. So something like this allows the iron to go down vertically straight, so you don't have to worry too much about it just makes it easier to set the brass, right? So there you go. Those are the two main things that you're gonna have to learn how to do in order to put this blaster together. It's not too difficult. So yeah, with that, we will continue on to the build. Alright, so let's start with these pieces. These are the pieces that we're going to first be installing the little slotted pins into. These little guys. So we'll start with the pusher bolt assembly. So you're going to need to put a pin into 1, 2, 3, 4 holes here. Generally, I like to put super glue on these ones because these ones tend to, for whatever reason, the holes tend to be a little bit bigger, so I recommend using super glue on these. Oh yeah, oh it's very loose. This one. There's two. Make sure they're all the way in. Okay. It's one side done. Okay. Cool. 4 pins installed. That off to the side. Okay. Now we're gonna put the pins into these pieces here. This is part of the little catch body assembly. We're gonna install pins into this piece here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I put a dab of super glue in each hole. I will now grab some pins. Okay, so you see here, we got these pins set now, and then we just want to see that they fit together. Alright, fits together. It's like Lego. Pretty cool. And they should also be able to come right out. Alright, nice. Okay. Let's continue. So you can leave the 2 pieces together for now. It'll make this next process easier. So we want to put pins here, 1, 2, and 3, 4 on both sides. So once again, super glue. You're gonna want these pins to the heads to be flush with this face here. So if you look at it this way, it should be flush. That's how you know that they're in the correct amount, correct depth. There we go. So the little side pins are in. Nice. Okay, so those 2 pieces, pins are done. Alright. This one. We want to put a pin here, pin there. Alright. Pin here, pin there. Fantastic. Alright. Next piece. This is the pump grip, or the pump sled, some would say. You want to put pins in 1, 2, 3. These 3 holes right here. Okay. Cool. Alright, we're gonna sink the brass inserts. These are the 4 pieces that we're gonna be putting the brass inserts into. So let's start with the catch plate block, or the catch block. We gotta put one here, one here, and one here. Alright, for this piece, you want to sink one here and here. Alright, let's make the pusher. We're going to use a 1/2 inch number 4 by 1/2 inch screw. It's going to screw in at the top here. Now we're going to get this little O-ring. Put it around there. And that is the pusher bolt finished. Put that to the side. Let's assemble this thing. And get the silicone impact buffer. Peel that off. get these. Now we're going to put the O-rings in there. There's 2 O-rings that we have to put in there. 2 of these. Then we're going to use this tool. So pop this in here. This. Alright, there are 4 half-inch ones. Alright, these are the printed bushings. These are 12mm screws, and these are the 2 bearings. What you're going to do is you're going to get the screw, put that bearing, and then you put the bushing. Alright, want this, and the 3/8 screw. Put that into there. Make sure it's stuck in there. Good. Nice. I get the shaft pins. These just lay into there. Okay. Alright, get one of these. These are the longer springs. And get your catch plate. Make sure the chamfered edge is facing up. Alright. Now we're going to put the stock together. You're going to get the super long spring and this little block. Just snaps in like that. Alright, now I got the 3/8 screws. One, two, three, four, five, six. Blocker. Now I get this washer. That through. And then I'm going to put this. of these short stiff springs. You want to put that in there. See that? And I got this long roll pin, or slotted pin, and then you want to push the detent in until you can see the hole. So 3 pins here. Alright, we're going to put the rails on. These two matching ones are the side rails. These are really short, the 6mm screws. This is the top rail. Make sure this is the front end. This is the not chamfered end that goes to the back. We completed the front shell here. All of these just put in, all the rails are attached with the little 6mm screws. So there's that. Now the back one, same thing. You want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the 6mm screws holding in the rear Picatinny rail. Alright, and once that's done, let's move on to this here, the stock mechanism block. So this is what holds the stock mechanism together. So what we're going to want to do is get this catch piece, put in an M3 nylock screw into there. Alright, and when that's done, you want to grab 2 of these short little, they're pretty stiff, stubby springs, and those go on top of the spring post inside this gap here. Right? So I like to use one of the Allen wrenches to guide them. So there's one. There's 2. Alright, they sit up there like that. Now this piece just rests on top like that. Okay, great. can ignore all these little fuzzy bits stringing from the print. Alright, next up, we grab the stock lever, release lever, and we get an M3 by 30 screw here and put an M3 washer onto it, like so. And then this goes on this side, like that. And now this goes under here, see the slot? Stick it into there. You have to wiggle it around, because what you want for it to do is you want it to grab that nylock screw. Alright, so tighten this down. There we go. Now you can test it. Should move this thing all the way down. See? Great. So that's done. Alright, now let's mount that into the rear shell. This simply goes in like that. You're going to mount it in place with 4 of the 3/8 screws. They go down here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Screw them in. Alright, great, that's in. Alright, now let's move on to the stock quick disconnects. So, the quick disconnects have this little cup thing here. You want to grab that and press down on this button, and it comes right out, right? So grab both of these little cups, and then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get 2 3/8 screws with an M3 washer, like this. Put the washer through the screw. Alright, now you're going to grab just one of these cups, get that hole there, push it all the way in. I think I'm going to have to hammer this one in. So let me go grab a hammer, or I'm going to use the arbor press. But basically, press these in all the way so that they're flush. I'm going to go use the arbor press. I'll be right back. Alright, the little cutie cups are in. Now, grab a screw with the washer in it, and these are going to secure them in. So those go through there. Alright, fantastic. So there we go. Next, you can grab your stock. You can check that it goes in. Shoots out. Great. Then your little cutie points can just snap in. Like that. Okay, so that's the back done. Okay, let's finish up the main portion of the blaster. So we're going to put the grip in. You're going to want to grab your trigger mechanism here and put in some silicone grease in this channel here. This is where the, excuse me, that's where the trigger is going to slide in. So put some silicone grease in there, grab your trigger, put it in like this, put it through the trigger guard area of the grip, right? Goes like that. And you're going to secure the grip to the main internals of the blaster using 6 3/8 screws. Okay, so those go in down here. And 6. Okay, great. Now you can put the plunger into there, make sure you lubricate it, just put that in there. Alright, now grab these 2 springs here. These are like the softer, slightly longer springs. Those go for the trigger right here. So just put those in like that. then one more on the other side. That. Great. All right, so let's start assembling the blast. Oh, one more thing, sorry. The muzzle piece here. There's a O-ring. I don't know if you can see it. There's a groove on the inside that this O-ring needs to go into. So I like to just stuff my pinky in the back, and then use a wrench to push it into the groove. It's usually not too hard. Okay, there it is. Just make sure it's seated. All right, pretty good. Okay, now I think it's time for final assembly. So grab your mainspring, toss that in there. Grab this guy, or actually this guy waits. What you want to do is you want to grab these two, put them into the pusher bolt, like this, hold them together, slide them through the back here, okay, make sure the pusher seats back here, okay, now grab the catch mechanism, put it back here, spread the aluminum apart, make sure these things are spread apart, and then line them up like that. Alright, so that holds. Next step, you got these pieces, the frame support pieces, right there, that here, so they fit into these pegs here. Okay, now hold everything together like this. So we're going to slide the front cover on. We can put the barrel in right now. We can put it in later too, but why not? Let's put it in right now. So grab the barrel, just jam it in like that. The front cover, slide it over. Okay, you can put, these are, I believe these are 8mm screws. So you're going to put these here. Screw these in. Okay. You can put the rear on. You're going to have to, the stock bars can't be sticking out like that, so you at least got to put them back to this point. This slides over like that. Now you want these longer screws here. Alright, so these are 14mm screws. So grab your 14mm screws. They go here. They're like the pivot point for the mag release. That's why they're longer. So screw those guys in. Oh. Don't screw these too tight, because if you screw them too tight, then your mag release is going to get seized up. So just don't do them too tight. Check that your mag release works. Great. Alright, and these are the 8mm screws. Okay, now let's put on the pump grip. You're going to need these little pump grip sled bushings. Now, one side has a through hole, these other sides have like a little pocket. That little pocket sits over this screw with the bearing on it. So it goes like that. Okay? You're going to want to grab both sides. So holding that one side in. Okay, both sides. And then over top, you get your pump sled. And you just put that in like that. Now you're going to need 3 14mm screws here. One goes through the side, the other goes through this side, and the last one goes through here. So one, it's two, and there's three. Alright, now grab your muzzle piece, put that through there. There you go. Some points that you might want to lubricate are on top of these bars here. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pump it back, and when it's in the rearward position, just want to put a little glob of the silicone grease on there, and then push it back and forth to spread it out. And the blaster is completely dry fire safe because we have both. Oh, there you go. If your stock is seizing up a little bit, try tightening this screw. So if it's having a hard time releasing, or putting it back in, it's generally, yeah. You just want to screw that in a little bit. There you go. I'm going to go over how to assemble the scar barrel next, but as far as the base blaster, that's that. So if you want to work on the internals, oops, kick the light. If you want to work on the internals, so spring swaps, cleaning barrels, checking on your catch, re-lubricating things, you're going to want to take out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screws. So it's these main screws, and once you take that off, the front cover comes off, and then everything else is, as far as the front end goes, is toolless. You're not going to really have to fix stuff in the back too much, unless, I guess, if you're going to replace the pusher O-ring, you're going to have to take off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So those 6 screws. But most of the time, you just need to work on the front end. So 7 screws, which is a lot less than before, so it's much more convenient. So there you go. Yeah, next I'll be covering the scar barrel assembly. Alright, I'm going to show you how to string up or assemble your scar. So first thing, let's install these parts. You're going to need 2 3/8 screws. You're going to need this black barrel O-ring and this red muzzle O-ring. Alright, to start, we're going to drive screws into these holes. So the first one, you're going to want to put into this one on top of this protrusion. So screw this in. And you're going to want to leave a tiny gap in between the screw head and this part here. And the other piece we are going to put through the string clamp. So we're going to put this screw through here, and we're going to screw this down here. Now this piece we don't want to screw it in all the way yet. Want to leave a tiny gap in between here. You can see. Alright. This red O-ring can just go around here, easy. And then this one, a bit more difficult to see, but there's a groove inside there that you're going to have to put it in. So I just like to scrunch it up like that. Use a key. Just gently push it in like that. Hopefully you can see it in there. Just sits in there. Alright, now we're going to string it up. So you're going to want to grab a fishing line. I use 4-pound fishing line. I found that the lightest fishing line that you can get is the best. So like the thinnest diameter. So for me, that's 4 pounds, 1.8 kilograms line. We're gonna need about a yard of this, 3 feet or about a meter of fishing line. Just get that, clip it. Okay, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna tie a knot around this screw. Alright, I just tied a square knot. It's fine. Now I'm going to clip off the excess here. It's trash. Okay. Now, grab the end of your fishing line. And the first hole we're going to put it through is this one right here. The hole to the right of the starting point. So you're going to stick it in there. Then grab your tweezers and pull it out. And you're going to pull it out over this hole. So maybe I should mark it with a pen. Alright, I've got a pen here. So we're starting here. Let's put the number 1. Goes to number 2 here. 1, 2. So I just label them all. So start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then we're going to come back here. So the rest are easy. You just have to know you start at this hole, and then you go to this notch here. 1, 2. Not to this one, to this one. And then the rest are pretty self-explanatory. So there you go, 1, 2, go into hole 3. Alright, and once that's done, you're going to want to look down, and you're going to want to see a sort of a hexagon shape. I don't know if you can see that. Does that help? I hope you can see it. You want to make a hexagon. If you see a hexagon, then you did it right. Okay, now you're going to want to come over, hook around the left side of the first screw, like that, and then come over to the right and wrap around this, on the underside of this, the string clamp, wrap around clockwise, 1, 2, 3, 3 times. Now hold it taut and screw this piece down. Alright, and there you go, it's done. Just clip off the excess here. That's finished. Oh, and almost forgot, you gotta put a M3 nut into here. Grab your shroud, sticks right in, that. Then grab your 18mm M3 screw. Screw that into the side here. there you have it. Stringed up, strings protected, and show you, lock the muzzle, let's put on the scar. There we go. Scar barrel's on, blaster's assembled. Pretty nice.